Hello friends and fans, this is ThomasZoey3000 here, and I'm back with another model train video for you. Once again, focusing on the locomotives I've yet to show you. Specifically, the locomotives from the Brampton train show of last year, the other locomotive from the Hornby package, and yes, even the new Amazon engines that I recently acquired. Yeah. I've been meaning to get to this video for quite some time, especially to show you this gem of an engine, as well as the other engines, but you know, I've been a little bit busy. And yes, guys, I am well aware of what's been going on lately. Yeah, I am well aware of what's going on. It actually canceled one of my trips as of this year. You see, in late April, there was supposed to be a British train show in Brampton, Ontario. Yet the train show has been cancelled due to this whole pandemic thing. Yeah. But there is some good news on my end. In late June, there is going to be a Washago train show in Bracebridge, Ontario. And I actually like to ask any of you, if you've ever been to this train show, what's it like? Is it exciting? Is it grand? I'd love to hear your answers down in the comment section down below. Yeah, because I love to learn all about this show. And as a bonus too, there is a Heritage Railway not too far off in Huntsville. So hopefully I'll get to see this train show and the Heritage Railway. So yeah, it's sad that I'm not going to the British show, but hey, I got two things to look forward to, plus the two other trips later in the year. Which are kind of, well, repeats of last year's trips. Yeah. Okay, now that's been said, let's get on to the locomotive. And in case you're wondering what the sound is behind me, they're actually Duck and Oliver running on the layout. And after I've shown you this engine, I'll show you them running. The layout's not exactly clean right now, but not for the heck of it. You might as well see them in action. I'm just riding them around for the heck of it. So anyway, let's get on to this gem of an engine, which is by far the most expensive of all my HO scale / 00 scale locomotives. This is the LB-SCR H2 Atlantic by Bachmann Branch Lines. Now, I'll admit, when I saw this engine appear on Model Railway imports in the BR Black, I thought, the shape's nice, but a BR Black? No. Especially when I saw the price tag. It's well over $200 Canadian just to acquire this particular engine. So I thought to myself, nope. Wait till it gets down in price. Then I went to the Brampton train show last year, and lo and behold, what do I see but the southern version of this locomotive. Although the price tag was higher. Where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. Then the original price tag. $290. Yeah. She costs $290. But you know what? She is well worth it. I've run her around on my layout several times, and she is a beaut. A real beaut. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some running sessions with her. And actually, when I'm done these little videos of showing you the locomotives, I want to hear from you guys. Would you like to see all the locomotives in one video, pulling various different trains? Again, love to hear from you in the comment section down below. So yeah, I picked out the southern green version of the H2 Atlantic because of that livery. It just looks so beautiful. Yeah, that's primarily the main reason, and for sure, it is a good runner, so that's another good reason for it. Though, if you don't want to blow all your money at once, like I did, maybe look for another locomotive. But if you don't mind spending that much money, hey, get the H2 Atlantic. But anyway, as you can see, there's nothing to look at on the side of this box. But if we look towards this end of the box, I'm going to move the camera out so that way you can see it a little better. There we go. It shows 31-920 H2 Class 2421 what was it again? Sorry guys, I'm just looking at it. Oh yeah, South Foreland. I hope I said the name right. Southern Lined Monsel. And I think there's another word behind the price tag, but I've never seen it. Plus, it's got a space in the locomotive, or it could be in the tender, for a 21-pin DCC decoder. Now, if we look to the back of the box here, we can see some nice info of the H2 Atlantics. And there is talk of the new build Atlantic at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can read that. If you can, that's great. But yeah, it's just a little bit far for me to read. Well, it's probably a little far for you guys to read. I can read it just fine. Ugh. Can't speak clearly, but then again, when do I ever? Oh yeah, there's the info on the back. All this stuff at the back of the box. Plus the Bachmann branch lines logo all around the rest of the box, even underneath. Alright, now that we've actually had a look at the locomotive inside the box, let's get it out of the box and have it join the rest of my fleet. Alright. So you can tell she's in the beautiful block of ice, but let's get her out of the block of ice. Alright. Now in here we do have the instruction booklet for the H1 and the H2 Atlantics, because, you know, they are the same. You get all this, and plus the Bachmann Collectors Club. And the warranty service request form. It's really good. So move this to the side for a minute. And I'm going to remove the outer sleeve. So cool. I don't get this locomotive out of the box very often, so yeah, it's really nice to do so now and have it join the rest of my fleet, which are already in, well, pull-out drawers. As you can see up here, we got a nice detailed bag, which I believe has some, I think those are steps, I'm not 100% sure, lamp posts or lamp codes, yeah, indicating what the engine's pulling and all that stuff. These are really nice bits. Oh, and you got nameplates and number plates in there. It's really cool. Though the engine already comes with name boards and number boards, in case you're wondering. Alright, enough waiting around. Let's get this beauty of an engine out. And there she is. The H2 Atlantic, number 2421. Also got a piece of Bachmann Easy Track to put the locomotive on, so I can show it better. Yeah, and you know what? I'm just going to remove this piece of paper for now, so that way it's easier for me to turn the locomotive. Alright. So here she is, number 2421, the beautiful H2 Atlantic. Where to begin with this locomotive? Well, for one, I love the separately fitted parts, like the handrails here and the smokebox handles there. Oh, and look at these lamp irons. They are huge. They're solid pieces. I can tell you that much. Oh, and in case you're wondering, nope, the locomotive does not come with sprung buffers. Bit of a shame, but oh wow, that's a minor nitpick there. Oh, and the wheels are not even on the track. What was I thinking? Alright, so now let's have a good look at the locomotive from this angle. There's the cylinder for the engine itself and the running board, which is made out of die-cast metal, so that's a good sign. Separately fitted handrails along the side of the locomotive. The boiler is primarily, well, it is all plastic, same with the dome and the funnel. But hey, that's still looking really good. And let's see, can we see the valve gear on the inside? You know, it's really hard to see, but you can see some details underneath the boiler, so that is good. And the Atlantics, by the way, are 442 steam locomotives, in case you guys were wondering. Though I'm sure many of you knew that by now. There's also some steps here on the side of the locomotive. which look really nice. And there's the nameplate, South Foreland. I really don't know if I'm saying the name right, so if I'm not, I'm sorry guys. I am so sorry. Yeah. There's some riveting all along here, including on the firebox, which looks really nice. Going along here, some nice details underneath the cab going to the rear set of wheels. I love the lining. I mean, seriously, the lining on this locomotive is just fantastic. Next, we'll get to the tender. We'll get back to the cab in a little bit. The tender is really, really nice. The Southern livery looks nice on it. And spotless. It's plastic, but, you know, it almost feels like metal. It's still a weighty tender, so that's pretty good. As you can see, it's got the number of the locomotive, number 2421. And again, more lining along here. The details underneath the tender are just amazing. And now we look to the back end. We see the engine's number again. More metal buffers. They're not sprung, but again, that's okay, I guess. We go around to the side here. You see these little pieces up here on the top of the tender. I honestly don't know what those are. If you guys do know, let me know, okay? And pretty much the locomotive has the same kind of details along this side. Oh yeah, and I do believe it has rivets on the running board, I think. Yeah, it does. In certain sections it does. Now let's have a look at the cab. See if I can get it in better lighting. Whereas I do have a flashlight nearby. In fact, just give me 1 second, guys. Alright. Now we can have a proper look inside the cab. I think... You guys see it? Yeah, it's just about... Here. Yeah. Doesn't that look great? And look at that. Floorboards inside the Atlantic's cab. Alright. Next, there's the coal load. Glossy as usual from Bachmann, but you know what, that's okay. If you're used to Bachmann, then yeah, it's fine. And then over here, I believe that's the safety valve and the whistles. Oh wait, no, that's the whistle on top. Oof, a bit of a sharp piece, that one. The safety valves, I'm guessing. And plus the locomotive, yeah, it does have glazed windows at the front. It's really, really nice. I swear the Atlantic looks like she's about to fall off the tracks. Yeah. But yeah, there she is. The H2 Atlantic. In Southern livery. Honestly, is this a locomotive I would recommend to every model railroader out there? Again, unless you have a lot of money like I do, or, you know, you just really want a good locomotive and you still have plenty of money left over for extra bits like I do. Probably not. Just like I said, this locomotive will cost you quite a bit. In particular, the H2 Atlantic cost me $290, and again, was the most expensive locomotive I got at the train show. She was expensive. Super, super expensive. But you know what? She is well worth it. And I look forward to showing you the locomotive in action real soon. And I just moved the camera. Silly me. Also, if you're a fan of the Southern livery, more so than the BR livery, then yeah, I would definitely recommend picking up the locomotive. Then again, if you're a steam enthusiast like me, of course pick up the locomotive. So yeah, it's a great engine. It's definitely one of Bachmann's finest. I can definitely say that for sure. Just wish it wasn't so pricey. If it was lower in price, then yeah, I would definitely pick up more than a few of these Atlantics, including the one that's being built. Beachy Head, I think it's called. Yeah. Oh well. One's okay for now. Besides, I've been primarily focusing on tank engines lately. And speaking of tank engines, let's go see the other two on the layout. Quite a mess, huh? Yeah. Now, I've been running trains lately, and I've been neglecting to put them away. Just shows how busy I am. Anyways, you can see there's Doc pulling Hornby James's coaches. He's in serious need of oiling, because if I get him going any faster than this, he is squeaking like heck. But at this speed, he's okay. Besides, I don't usually like running my engines that fast. Oliver, on the other hand, I am running a little bit faster because of my steep incline. Hopefully in the future, when I start building my brand new layouts, and I am building the new layouts, just in case you guys were wondering, well, hopefully won't have any inclines. But anyways, you can see Oliver's got all 5 of my tar wagons and towed. Pretty cool, eh? Yeah. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed looking at the H2 Atlantic, but don't think this video is over. No, it's not. Not by a long shot. We're just getting started, my friends. Okay, so we're back at the table. So, yeah, I got a little bit of time before, I have to call it a night and, get some rest because I am due to work tomorrow. Yes, I am still working. Yeah. But yeah, I got some time, so I'm going to show you one more locomotive, and it's a bit smaller than the H2 Atlantic, which I have right here, in case you guys are wondering. In fact, it's not even of the same gauge. It is Rheneas from the Thomas & Friends narrow gauge lineup. Ever since showing you Rheneas in that Leftovers of 2019 video, well, poor Rheneas has been stuck in that box ever since. Let's change that as of today, shall we? Let's get him out. First things first, though, we need to look at the box, because this is not like all the other Bachmann Thomas & Friends boxes. As you can see here, we got a nice picture of Thomas, James, and Percy down at the bottom. There's also a little oval here that says narrow gauge. Rheneas. HO narrow gauge runs on N track. Made by Bachmann. Recommended for ages 14 and up. So this is not the type of engine you want to give to your child. But, he's still a really cool looking engine. And, yeah, I'm glad to finally have a narrow gauge engine in my collection. And yes, I will acquire Skarloey, Rusty, and Peter Sam later in the year. And there's the Thomas & Friends logo up there. And it says here, electrically operated product for use on N-scale track. We look to the side of the box here. Looks pretty good. And then we get to the back of the box where it shows Skarloey, Rheneas, and other pieces of rolling stock you can acquire. I am planning on acquiring all of these at some point. Here's the other end of the box, which shows just a small portion of Thomas. And speaking of which, you look down here at the bottom, you see Thomas and Percy. Really nice. Yeah. I think Rheneas was actually delayed. But, you know what? The delay was well worth it because he is well liked by the Thomas & Friends community. Anyway, I think we've done enough waiting and enough looking at the box. Let's get Rheneas out. Yeah. Okay, so he's in his own little style of packaging here. And in here we do have something for Bachmann. Oh yeah, I guess this is for the catalog or something. I don't know. I never bothered to look at these things. Yeah. And we got an exploded parts diagram for Rheneas. The warranty for Rheneas. Yeah, actually, I think that's all we get out of this. Yeah. No, not bad. Not bad. I'll just leave these to the side so that way I can put it back in the box later. And now, let's get Rheneas out. Not so hard at all, is it? Now I'll just get all this out of the way. And for a change of pace, instead of bringing over an HO scale piece of track, I got an N scale track from Kato. And here, my friends, is Rheneas. Wow. Look at Rheneas. And upon taking him out of the box and, you know, place him on the track, I felt more metal on him than I felt on any other Thomas engine. For starters, his running board is made of metal, and his tanks are made out of metal. I don't think his cab is. No, not cold to the touch. But hey, if the tanks and actually cold bunker are, well, metal, that is really good. So anyway, we got the CGI style face for Rheneas, which looks really nice. We got the nice buffers. They're not sprung, but then again, none of the Thomas products ever have sprung buffers. Rheneas has got a very, very tall funnel. And look how slim that funnel is. I mean, seriously. That's why this is not recommended for children under the age of 14. But I'm 30, so I'm okay. Now, yeah, let's bring Rheneas in for a closer look. You can see Rheneas' nameplate right there. I believe that's a wheel arch. There's a cylinder. His coal bunker. That's a coal bunker, not a water tank. I'm not sure where you put the water in this little engine. Anyway, there's also the dome here, his whistle. And he's got cab windows. No glazing in the windows, but that's alright. He's also got the number 2 on the side there. It shares the number with a certain other number 2 engine, which I will be reviewing after I've done this video. Yeah. Well, at some point after doing this video. Anyway, you can see inside the cab. That's something we don't get with the traditional HO scale Thomas engines, except Rosie, which ironically shares the same name as the cat just down the hallway. Yeah. There's no cab detail on the inside, but you know what? That's okay. For a small narrow gauge engine, it's perfectly fine. He does have a lamp on the back, which is really cool. He's got this nice little lining on his back end, which fits perfectly with the lining separating his cab from his frame. At one time, Rheneas was a cabless engine, but they gave him a cab later on. I think the same was true for his real-life twin, Dolgok. And you'll notice, too, that Rheneas has these unique couplers. I've yet to try them with any rolling stock, namely because I don't have any rolling stock for Rheneas. But you know what? That's okay. I'm just glad to have Rheneas in my collection. And for those of you who don't know, Rheneas is an 040. So he's a four-wheeler, much like Percy. And now, for interest's sake, let's line up Rheneas with the H2 Atlantic. Let's go in for a closer look. Oh, what a difference in size. I mean, seriously. Rheneas here is an HO engine that runs on N-scale track. And more or less, this is definitely in the correct height size with the H2 Atlantic. And I'm pretty sure it's in the correct height differences between himself and, let's say, Thomas, for example. Oh yeah. That is really impressive. Overall, I do like Rheneas, and I'm very happy to have him in my collection. And I want to hear from you guys. Do you have a Rheneas? If so, do you run him very often? Well, I'm determined to run him soon, and I will show you his first run on some N-scale track later on. But now that we've looked at Rheneas, I think it's high time we move on to some other engines. Let's have a look. So far, we've looked at a couple of Bachmann engines. But now we are going to switch over to Hornby. Specifically, the Hornby Railroad range. And this is my only Hornby Railroad locomotive. Now, if you're not familiar with the Hornby Railroad, then allow me to explain as best I can. The Hornby Railroad range is sort of a cheaper alternative to Hornby's regular range, where they have everything, you know, high quality and detail is superb on all those models. These models may not always come with that, but performance-wise, they are fantastic. Personally, even in the Hornby Railroad range, I find that the locomotives all look beautiful, at least from all the locomotives I've seen in pictures and videos I've seen on YouTube. And the same can be said about this particular beauty. Now, this was actually the first engine I acquired at the Brampton train show last year. Yeah, I was just walking around, looking at all the various different booths, and I come across British Small Trains Limited. And just so you know, I've actually ordered from them recently. Yep. Expect another video coming soon. But enough about that. But yeah, I just happened to walk up to the booth, and the first thing I spot is this LNER tank engine. And this is no ordinary LNER tank engine. This is an LNER Class J83. And it costs about $65. Not the cheapest I've gotten at the train show, but you know what? It was a pretty darn good price, so I thought, why not? So I picked up the J83, and here she is. Now, unlike the H2 Atlantic I showed you earlier in this video, the J83 is in styrofoam, not a block of ice. Yeah. So that's okay. I should point out, though, that for all of Hornby Railroad's locomotives, they are all in styrofoam containers inside the box. If you're not a huge fan of that, then yeah, probably not for you. And also, if you want super details, this locomotive and all the others of the Hornby Railroad range might not be for you. But hey, if you're looking for a good locomotive to run on your layout, and you don't mind that there are certain details that are not painted in, the fact that it doesn't have sprung buffers and all that stuff, but still being a good runner, then yeah, the Hornby Railroad range is definitely for you. For me personally, I got it because I love steam engines, okay? So yeah, that's why I got her. And here she is. Anyway, I think you had a good enough view of the front of the box. Let's take a look at the side of the box here. Okay, so on the side of the box here, it shows R3668 LNER Class J83, not to be confused with the new J72s that Bachmann have recently brought out. And this one is number 8472. Here's the back of the box. Nothing really interesting to look at on this end, or this end. Top's okay. And then there's the bottom part. Kind of a bland box. Now, camera, focus up. Come on, camera. But, you know, it's alright. It's alright. Alright, there we go. I've taken this locomotive out of the box a few times just to run on my layout for the heck of it, but I've never shown it on camera, other than that show and tell video I did last year. Well, let's finally change that. You can use the holes in the back to help you get the locomotive out, but with me, I just like to lift it out as gently as I can. Alright. Get the box out of the way, and I got one of my many Bachmann Easy Tracks ready to display the locomotive on. She's got quite a wide wheel span, I can tell you that much. Now, where's my flashlight? Ah, here it is. Just to give you a little better lighting of the J83. Look at that detail. Well, look at that paint job, I should say. Honestly, the LNER paint job looks spectacular on this locomotive. And the lining's actually pretty good, too. So don't be fooled into thinking that these locomotives will never come with lining, because they will. They will. Alright, let's have a good look at the front of the locomotive. There is the smoke box door, and the little handles to get the door open. The locomotive has a very nice tall funnel, And a very nicely detailed buffer beam just down there. It does have metal buffers, but they are not sprung. And unlike the H2 Atlantic, this locomotive has one of those big couplers, you know, the types you would see on older British engines. But, you know, that's alright. For a Hornby Railroad Range loco, it suits her. Okay, now we're looking to the side of the locomotive. This pretty much shares the M-type drive unit. Let's see, where are the instructions? Oh, I lost those a long time ago. But yeah, the M-type drive unit is what the J83 has. Pretty much similar to that of the Hornby Thomas and the Hornby Diesel and any 060 that the Hornby Railroad Range has to offer. Yeah. Still, it runs nicely, I can tell you that much. Okay, we're going to bring in the locomotive for a nice close-up look. There's the wheel arch right there, and that's the water tanks for the locomotive. So you can see LNER is applied nicely on the side of the tank, along with the running number A472. There's also some nicely molded pipework on the locomotive. No separately fitted parts on here, but you know what, that's okay. Based on the price, you know what you're getting with this kind of locomotive. It's got a nice dome here. And here's something really interesting. You get safety valves. And if I'm guessing correctly, yeah, they are metal. Okay, so you got some metal parts there. Ain't that amazing? The whistle is along here too. It's made of plastic, but that's alright. There's no glazing on the windows, but that's okay. Again, you know what you're getting into when you're getting a locomotive like this. Now we're looking down here to the wheels. Very nicely painted wheels. I'm not sure if the actual J83s ever had white lining on them, but if they did, let me know. Personally, I think the wheels look great, and plus they got a nice little metal traction rod or coupling rod. So yeah, it looks really good on the locomotive. The handrails are actually on here, but they're attached to the body, so they're not separately fitted. So, yeah. But the locomotive certainly does have a few rivets here and there, which looks really, really nice. Now, I'm actually going to show you inside the cab as best I can. Okay, here we go. You see inside the cab? Yeah, no cab interior. Instead, you can actually see the back end of the motor. Quite interesting, eh? Not bad, though. Not bad. Now we look to the back end of the engine. Maybe I can get rid of the light now. Oh, nope, nope. We still need the light. I'll just move it. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, guys. But yeah, there's no lining back here. There's no coupling hook back here. You got the same metal buffers back here, but they're not sprung, which is okay. And then the big coupler. I'm sorry if I'm sounding like I'm disappointed, but you know, this is the kind of stuff you can expect from a Hornby Railroad loco, and it's not necessarily bad. I guess I'm just more used to the highly detailed engines, but guaranteed I do like this engine a lot. Hence why I got it in the first place. Plus, I've heard good things about the Hornby Railroad Range. So yeah, as you can see, the details along this side of the locomotive look similar to that on the other side, which is really, really nice. Yeah. Okay, now let's go for a top view of the engine. Oop, I hit the table. Yeah. It does look pretty good in this lighting, doesn't it? You know, if you move the camera back a bit, you hardly even know that it was a Hornby Railroad loco. Yeah. It really does look nice. Really, really nice. So, you know what? Let me just turn it around to this angle. There we go. So yeah, that is the Hornby Railroad J83. A very nice little engine. What do you guys think of it? And would you get one? I know I would, and I have. Alright, I think I got time for one more locomotive and then I'll wrap up this video. So, I'll be back in just 1 second with another loco. Now, if you recall in the last video, I showed you the Cantonese Sussex Terrier. Well, when I did show you that loco, I also mentioned that I got the Great Western Clerestory coach, and I also acquired another locomotive. It's one you guys have never seen before until now. Ta-da! It's a Hornby A4 Pacific. Honestly, I can never pronounce the name right, so there's the name right there. I'm just going to refer to it as 60028. Or 28, yeah. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so you got another A4 to go along with Silverlink. Well, yes I did, and it's actually a little more modern compared to Silverlink herself. But here's an interesting thing. This engine's in a livery that I've never seen the A4s in. It's not silver. It's not LNER blue. It's not LNER green. It's not MBR. It's not MBR green. And this is not BR blue. This is in fact the experimental BR purple with red lining. Yeah, purple with red lining. Can you believe it? This engine is in purple paint. Yeah, as soon as I heard of this engine, thanks to Sam's Trains, you know, showing it on Model Railway News video. I think it was the November issue. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. As soon as he showed it, though, I figured to myself, okay, I gotta get this engine. And December rolled around, I thought to myself, okay, you know what? I'm going to order this engine direct from Hornby. So I did, along with the Terrier and the coach. They took almost a month to get to me. Again, little word of advice. If you're going to order from the UK, don't do it around December. Unless you are living right in the UK. Then go nuts, okay? But if you're overseas like me, you're best to wait until the new year. Yeah. So yeah, I got this A4, and I have run her a couple of times in a couple of off-camera running sessions. Yeah, I've never shown her in a proper running session before, but don't worry, she will get into a running session at some point, especially considering I got some coaches coming her way. Yeah. Man, I'm very happy to have this engine. So anyway, yep, that's the story of the Hornby package of December 2019. And now, let's get on to looking at the box, shall we? And let's move the camera back just a bit so that way you guys can see the end of the box here. Okay, so Hornby have this as R3701 BR Class A4. Again, I'm not going to say the name because I know I'll butcher it. I'm just going to call him Walter, actually. Yeah. Number 60028. I've heard people say the name before, but I've always managed to mess up the name somehow, some way. Okay, yeah. Anyway, as you can tell, that BR classified the A4s as an 8P. Really interesting. Here's some information about the A4s, and down here is some info about this particular engine, which was originally called Sea Eagle. Quite interesting, eh? And if we look to this end of the box, you see some drawings of the A4. This was drawn up in, let's see, 2004, so that's quite old, but that's okay. Anyway, on the top of the box here, we get a top view picture of the A4 herself. Nothing to look at on this end of the box, and nothing to look at the bottom of the box. Okay, so now that we had a good look at the box, how about I get the sleeve off without hurting my other engines and get Walter out. Alright, so there's Walter, the purple A4. Purple. Wow. if these A4s ever appear in other colors other than the traditional ones that I'm familiar with, just let me know, okay? And if they're in model form, I'll definitely acquire them. So anyway, let's get Walter out of the box. A little plastic bit to keep the engine safe, as well as, I'm just going to move the box out of the way here. Just briefly, we got some instructions on the A4, basically on how to lubricate the engine, how to do repairs here and there, and to add DCC to the engine. Not that I will. It's a nice engine, but I don't want to run it on DCC. I like it as is. Alright, so now I'm going to get the outer sleeve off. Being very careful with my A4. One of my two A4s. And yes, I'll show Silver Link one day. So anyway, we got a nice little detail bag here, which comes with a wheel set. Yeah. Some brake rigging along here, I would say. Looks really nice. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it in the box, or within the plastic here. And now, let's get Walter out. Alright, I'm just going to put Walter down on the table here for a second and get this out of the way. Alright, and now I'm going to bring over a piece of Bachmann Easy Track, actually two pieces. Excuse me, duck. I got to duck off to the side here. Okay, and let's see. And unlike Silver Link here, or who will soon be shown, who will be shown soon, Walter is actually connected to the tender. Oh, and these wheels are not even on the line. Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually noticing this, that the back wheels back there are not connecting with the track. But I've never had any performance problems with Walter, so yeah, I can't really complain on that one. Okay, so we have an A4 to look at. And in that purple livery, it is stunning. So, as you can see, we have the streamlined funnel for the locomotive and the nice whistle up front, which I think is plastic, but that's okay. Then we got the running number 60028 at the front. Let's see if I can move this a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, so it also says A4 class down here at the buffer beam. It's got a lot of nice details up at the front, and it does come with metal buffers, which are sprung. Look at that. Isn't that amazing, ladies and gentlemen? Yep, certainly does look amazing if you ask me. Now, unlike Silver Link, I think Silver Link doesn't have... I think Silver Link has them, but Walter here doesn't have the skirting to cover up the top portion of the wheels as well as hiding the valve gear. But in this case, that's okay, because you get a really nice shot of the valve gear, which looks really nice. And they look impressive to watch in motion. And yes, guys, guaranteed you will see Walter in action real soon. There's also separately fitted handrails along here, some molded on piping along here, as well as the nameplate of Walter, and the beautiful lining along the locomotive, and it is very nicely painted, I have to admit. Yeah. Very, very nice. Now we got the running number of the locomotive, number 60028, on the side of the cab. And if we actually move in a little closer, we can see that it says A4, which looks really nice. And there's the pilot truck, which looks really nicely detailed. Some nicely riveted detail along here. Yeah. And the A4 does come with glazed windows, which is really nice. Really, really nice. And like I mentioned before, the A4 is actually connected to her tender. So, should I refer to this engine as a he or a she? I honestly don't know. So I'm just moving the J83 so that way I can move Walter around so that way you can get a better look at him. Okay, so we're looking at the tender here. It's got the words British Railways on there. There's no logo on there, just British Railways. So I'm going to assume this was in the early stages of British Railways when they were just starting off, which is okay. Now we look back here, there's the corridor at the back of the tender, and of course got the metal buffers, which are sprung, as you can see, and the small little coupler, which is a really nice feature. Yeah, really, really nice. And you know what, I'm just going to grab these couple of pieces of paper because they're just getting in the way. Sorry about this, guys. Professional? No. Freelance? Yes. Alright, so I'm just going to turn the locomotive around, and I have to get the camera up so I can give you a proper look on the other side of the engine. And let's see if I can show you the cab. Okay, can you see inside the cab? Yep. It's very nicely painted, I do have to admit that. Yeah. It really does look purple in this lighting, doesn't it? Wow. Really does look nice. I'm just going to put my flashlight over here. And we're going to go for a top view. There's the very nice coal load, which is removable. It's moving about. So, you want to remove that coal load, you can. But personally with me, I will keep it. And there's the water cap for the water. For getting into Walter's tender. And then of course we got little air vents which do open and close. Really cool. Well, these ones don't open, but that's alright. We got safety valves right there, which are made out of metal. Really nice. There's the dome. And unlike most domes, it's nice and flat, so that way it doesn't interrupt the streamlining. And of course, the smokestack right here. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, so I'm gonna put Walter here. Bring the J83 back over, camera focus up. And for the heck of it, I might as well bring our smallest engine in this video back over here. Hello, Reneus. And of course, can't forget the H2 Atlantic. Reneus, you might as well come forward. There you go. So there you have it. 4 more locomotives into my collection. One that had just arrived recently. 2 which were bought by myself at British Model Trains Limited at the Brampton Train Show. And the 4th one that I got from Hornby. Yeah. Now next time there will be, I think, 2 more locomotives to show you. Or, no, probably 3. I don't know yet. We'll find out soon enough. But just so you know, those locos are a little bit older than these ones, so just keep that in mind. Overall though, I really do like these engines, and I'm very happy to have them all in my collection. And I want to hear from you. Would you get any of these engines for your collection? I love to hear your responses. But for now, that's all I gotta say, so I'm just gonna wrap this up. Until next time, my friends, I am ThomasZoey3000. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm signing off.